Okay, so imagine this. It is 1990 something. This little girl in this little town is dreaming about all of the things that she's going to be when she grows up. And because the options were limited at the time, it was like doctor, lawyer, nurse, architect, accountant at best, and all of those other things had to do with maths, and she was not a fan of maths. So she chose lawyer. As far as she was concerned, she wanted to be a big person, live a big life, and do big things. Now, years later, this girl is a mom, and there's a pandemic, and then the legal career that she thought was going to really hit didn't. At that point, she had to decide whether she was going to wait for whenever the world wanted to stop doing what it was doing, or she was going to do something else and still be badass at it. Hi, my name is Paula Poole, and I'm a personal branding consultant. If you're just finding me, you're welcome. This is an amazing community of women who are building the life and the brand of their dreams. So, there I was in the middle of the pandemic, and I was thinking to myself, okay, so what can I do with what I have right now? What I did have was a love for reading and writing. What I did have was a love for marketing because I'd been running my hair brand at the time. I was selling hair extensions, and some of my friends recently reminded me of that. But the world had locked down and we were inside, and I needed to find what I had in my hands at the moment that I could give as value and get revenue in return. So I sat down and took stock, and I realized I knew how to design in Canva. I knew social media marketing to a limited extent, a very little extent, as a matter of fact. And I knew video editing because I had just launched my YouTube channel. So I put all these together into a course. I sold it for like 2,500 at the time, which was a little over $5 at that time. And 40 people bought it. They were interested. And that was the beginning of my realization that there's no one road to building a big brand or living a big life. And at that point, I realized that, okay, so my skills were able to get 40 people interested and actually give them value. How much more can I do if I upskill? That was the beginning. Before I knew it, I was helping multiple women. I was building an entire company. I was building an organization. Before I knew it, there was a podcast and several revenue streams. And I'm here to tell you that it is possible. If it's possible for me, it's possible for you. Of course, at first, I was always doubtful of what I was bringing to the table. There was always that fear of what if it's not enough? What if I'm not expert enough? What if this is supposed to be just a hobby and I'm trying to make money out of it? Eventually, I realized that what I had was enough for the people that needed it, and not everybody would need it. And of course, there were people that needed more than I could give, and I just wasn't grown enough in my industry and in that line to serve them. But where I was and with what I had, I could serve somebody. So if you're looking to turn your hobby into a business or to build a brand or out of something you're passionate about, this is the first thing I will tell you. There is a set of people that need just what you have, nothing more. They're not looking for the big up there experts because they're probably not even grown enough for those experts. So what they need is somebody with just what you have. Think about that. Another fear that will hit you when you're turning your passion to an actual revenue stream is, what if nobody is interested in this? What if I fail? Putting yourself out there is scary, and I completely get it because I have gone on this journey as well. But I assure you that you can only fail if you stop. The thing about this, putting yourself out there, building a personal brand, turning what you have into an actual revenue stream, is that once you start, you then get clarity. Clarity comes along the way. You might not have full clarity of how you're going to do this thing unless maybe you find an expert. I do have one-on-one options, so you can check the link in the description so that we can do this together. But if you're doing it alone, like I did at the beginning, there will be a lot of uncertainty, a lot of lack of clarity. And what I tell my clients now is borrow my confidence until you can find yours. Use mine. I have been there, I have been scared, I have cried, I have failed, and I know that if you do not stop, you will not fail. As much as you're passionate about this thing, as much as this is something that you've done maybe every day for your entire life, when it comes to giving it to other people, when it comes to turning it to value in exchange for money, you have to put it in a package. You have to put it in something that is deliverable. So if your skill or hobby is a product that you make, a merchandise you create, then that's easy. You just create it and sell it. But if it is knowledge, if it is passion, if it is lifestyle, if it is a way of life, then you have to create something that people will get when they give you their money. But if you're giving a service, if you're giving something intangible, if you're giving a result, then there's got to be a process, and that process has got to be documented. Create a framework. How do you actually get this result for yourself? How have you gotten that result for others? Now, the first step is to clarify what you bring to the table. The second step is to clarify how you get that result. How will you take them from point A to point B? Here's the thing: if you're helping people lose weight, put your framework in a document. First step is to create a meal plan. Second step is to create a fitness plan. Third step, and so on and so forth. The reason this is the second step is because you've got to explain how you're going to deliver that result. What is it that people are going to go through to get that result? What do they need to do? You know it because you've done it all your life, but they don't know it, right? So you've got to systemize the process. The third thing you want to do is decide which package is going to come in. Are you going to be coaching? Are you going to be consulting? How long is the coaching going to take? Are you going to be doing classes? Are you going to create an ebook? Are you going to do webinars? There are so many options. Digital products are options. Coaching is an option. You can choose between one-on-one coaching or group coaching. Anyone is fine, as long as there is there's a package in which the solution is going to be delivered. Now, when it comes to pricing, it depends on how much of your time goes into delivering the solution. So if you create like a one-time webinar and just keep driving people to it, then that's going to come at a lower price point than if you are doing like a mastermind that is taking 6 months. Now, I broke all of this down in my masterclass, Branding Boldly. Now, we've had the live masterclass, but you can purchase the replay through the link in the description. This will show you everything that you need to do to launch your brand immediately and to do it the right way. Next, you have to start marketing what you bring to the table. When you figure out what you bring to the table, who it's for, and so on and so forth, and you figure out how you're going to deliver that solution, you've got to go to the marketplace and let people know you have this thing to offer. Now, this is where content comes in. Content is beautiful, is the way that you communicate your ideas, is the way you invite people to buy this thing that you bring to the table, is the way you invite people into your community. Now, the one thing I will tell you is that building an online brand is a process. It's a process. You cannot show up today and expect that by next week, people are rushing you. People need time to get to know you. People need time to accept your ideas. People need time to decide whether or not they're going to buy from you. Now, currently, I have people who just find me and immediately join my program or buy from me. But those people find me and then they see that I have been operating for a while, right? I have been operating for a while, and therefore there is proof that I've actually been at this for some time. So when these people move like that, when they just find me and immediately trust me, it is because of the footprints that they can see. They can see 50 something episodes on my podcast. They can see 50 something YouTube videos dating back to 2019. They can go down. Recently, somebody who joined my program commented on a video that was like 83 weeks old. And when I saw the video, I could not even remember like what year I created that video, right? But the point is just start and keep going, and all of the results, the hoping that people find you and immediately want to work with you, it will come. But for now, with your content, you just want to show people that you know what you're talking about and that you care about them. Now, when you're marketing your personal brand, when you're marketing that solution that you bring to the table, you do it with your chest. You do it like you are marketing a company, because that's what you are. You incorporated. You market like you mean it. You do the social media, you do the email marketing, you do the long form content. You position yourself like you mean business. If you want to charge people the kind of amount that can actually change your life, you have to do the kind of work that will allow these people to trust you. Create content, long form content, short form content. You can either do YouTube, or you can start a podcast, or you can start a newsletter, right? You can do short form content, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads, whichever one works for you. It depends on your skills, it depends on who you're trying to attract, and it depends on how much time you have on your hands. But just remember that when you're starting out, the more the better if you have the resources. If you're a solopreneur and you don't have a team and you don't have the capacity to hire somebody, learn how to do these things yourself and then take it step by step. Start with one short form platform, one long form platform, and then take it from there. At the bottom of it, building a personal brand is important work and it is a lot of hard work, but you are up to the task. You are capable. And the more you do it, the more you try, the more you learn, the more you execute, the more capacity that you build. That hobby, that thing that lights you up, as much as people might think you're playing at the start, it is the amount of effort you put into it, it is the tenacity that they see you come with that will make them take you seriously. When I started building my online business, a lot of people didn't take me seriously. They didn't think that this was a real thing. They thought it was maybe a hobby that I was spending too much time on. And who would blame them? I was a lawyer who was starting to make videos on YouTube. And it wasn't even videos about law. Let me tell you that you will believe in yourself first before other people will get on board. And so you need to have the kind of single minded focus that you need to put out 80 videos before people start to take you seriously. But you can and you will. So I wish you all the best with your personal brand. And I hope that you do what it takes to actually get the life that you want. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I make these videos a lot and I just want you to live your best life and make all the impact that you can. All of the links I've talked about are in the description. Whether you're taking the masterclass replay or you're signing up to work with me one on one, just make sure that you do what you can with what you have where you are. I will see you next time. Bye.